We are here with the tournament final of our Impact World Heavyweight Championship tournament. So it is week 2 of June. We are here with Adrenaline. We have 20 segments, which is a bit less than we usually have. We usually have about 22, I think. But taking up 125 segments, and we've used 36 minutes of our pre-show. So let's get on right ahead into... We have 3,274 people at the Adair Kennedy Memorial Park in AK, which I'm thinking is Alaska. We have Red Dragon defeating The Future in 8:15 when Kyle O'Reilly defeats Anthony Bennett with an ankle lock. So, yes, Kyle O'Reilly channels his inner Kurt Angle, and Bobby Fish carries the match with a 56. Leo with a 34, Bennett with a... Leo with a 30, Bennett with a 34, and Kyle O'Reilly also with a 30. Leo Rush improves in performance though. Negatives just for momentum and working injured for Kyle, and a couple for Leo and Anthony, but nothing we can't fix. We have Just Incredible jobbing to Marty Skrull in 3 minutes by pinfall with a graduation at D plus 49. I realise that some of the front line haven't been on TV too much. Mainly Marty and Pete, because I don't have a storyline for them at the minute. Like, they're kind of involved in the grand title storyline, but they don't have storylines for their own. Whereas, like, Mustache Mountain do, Drew's obviously got his whole thing. But Justin with a 21, Skrull with a 56. Skrull improves in performance, all good. No negatives for Marty Skrull. That is great. That was not great, but we have Io Shirai with a 30, defeating Alicia Edwards in 4:25 by pinfall with a moonsault press. E27, that I'm going to say is Alicia's fault. Io improves in performance, and just a negative. Actually, no, Alicia didn't have any negatives, so that's just down to them both being faces, not being over, and their chemistry. Our main event that's actually that's not a bad match at all. EC3 defeats Nick Jackson in 13:13 by pinfall with a sweet meat sizzler. Yeah, I really want Matt Jackson back, but he's not back for like another 5 or 6 months, I think. Carter with a 70, he actually gets a win. Jackson with a 52, no worker improvements, negatives for momentum and inconsistency. And we start the show with Brooke entering the arena, but she's attacked from behind and knocked out when her head just like smacks against the concrete. But Rosemary enters the frame and just starts to drag her away. So, yeah, C64. It's not a bad segment. The storyline advances and gains heat. Basically, yeah, so that's an interesting way to start the show. Just Brooke gets taken out and dragged off. And same rating. We have EC3 and John Hennigan backstage, and EC3 says, last week we were unable to capture the tag team titles from the Hardys. It was another no contest, and we only have ourselves to blame. But we have one more proposition for the Hardys. One more match. No DQ. Tag titles on the line. Slammiversary. Hennigan says, we're going to walk in and settle at this because we're the better team. We're the chosen ones. We're the next tag team champions. So, yeah, we're building for possibly a no DQ match at the pay-per-view. And we'll see how the Hardys respond later in the show or next week. Well, that wasn't bad. We have Talia Neidhart continuing to prove why I brought her in, because she hasn't got a bad match for a knockouts match yet. She defeats Ayako Hamada in 12:57 by pinfall with the German suplex. I did think this might crack a 60 because they're both quite good in the ring, but I'll definitely take a 57. Ayako with a 41 and Talia with a 57. Oh, Talia improves in technical and performance skills, and Ayako also improves in technical skills. Only negatives for Ayako's gimmick and Talia's stamina. Moving into Chris Sabin's hype video, so he's just, I don't know why I've put it in he's relaxing at home, but let's say he is. And we see a montage of his career highlights in Impact, including his world title, X Division title wins, and teaming with Alex Shelley, and their tag title wins. He says, "Why do I want to win this tournament? I want to reclaim my former glory. I want to become a 2-time World Heavyweight Champion, and I'm going to shut Cody the hell up. I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for Alex. I'm doing it for my family. But most of all, I'm doing it for the fans." The storyline advances in losers heat, though. That's why I put this before all of the other segments hyping up tonight's match. And that's not too bad. Mustache Mountain at backstage with Charlie Caruso. She says, "Gentlemen, last week you were bait." Interrupts, yeah, we know. We got challenged by the two biggest losers in Impact. Joe Hendry, the local hero. I tell you what, whenever you're on screen, this company needs a hero to stop the ratings from plummeting. But you have a challenge for us. And we don't back down from challenges, so it's Slammiversary. Fuck it, you're on. So yeah, we've got our match is official. I'm going to book that in, and we'll be right back. We move into a D44. We have Candice LeRae defeating Rachel Morgan in 9:57 by pinfall with a moonsault press. So yeah, Candice gets a win on TV. Rachel with the 28. It's a bit early to push her properly. And Candice with a 46. No worker improvements. We need Rachel to start improving. Although there are no... there's one negative for her. Poor psychology. So yeah, she's one for the future. She's like 21, 22. As long as we don't damage her beyond repair now. Like, she doesn't need to go on a long winning streak. Nope. I thought that segment was next. The Decay are backstage when Sutter and Zack Sabre Jr., who I'm just pretty much going to type in as ZSJ from now on because it takes so many less characters and it's just so much easier. The four start brawling, but it doesn't take long before the Decay are overpowered and sent running. So we've seen a new side of Sutter here, right? Because obviously they instigated the attack, and for once the Decay are on the back foot. So, yeah, D45, it's not a terrible rating for these four. Next segment is the press conference / weigh-in for Lashley and Riddle, because we're kind of treating it like a big fight, like they would in UFC, so they have the weigh-in and everything. But immediately after Riddle steps off the scales, he's assaulted by Lashley, who beats him down and just throws him around for a bit, but eventually he picks Riddle up and powerbombs him through a table to end the weigh-in / press conference. So the storyline advances. Lashley gets one up on Matt Riddle, and the world keeps turning. That is going to do... that's going to do wonders for the X Division storyline. Basically, yeah, this is the first time I've done this in this save. I've had, two feuds in one segment to just, whatever it is, to advance both without me having to type out an angle for both of them. Kill two birds with one stone. We have Davey Richards and Trevor Lee defeating Eddie Edwards and Chris Hero in 8:47 when Trevor Lee does defeat Eddie Edwards by pinfall. Lee was the weak link. That'll come with time. He got a 45, which is pretty good for him. Considering these guys are all upper mid-carders pretty much. Hero with a 57, Eddie with a 67, Davey with a 65. Eddie and Chris showed excellent chemistry teaming together. That's pretty cool. They might become a tag team. Who knows? Not now, but like eventually. The X Division storyline advances and gains probably a shit ton of heat. And the Wolves for Life storyline advances and no work improvements, which is not great. Negatives for X Division titles. Poor heat and Trevor Lee being inconsistent. I honestly thought that would be a lot better. But we see a video from Impact's HQ in New York, and Aaron Rex is out the front, walking around the building with a big sign saying machine guns are dangerous. He's garnering a bit of support, although how many people know he's talking about Alex Shelley and not America's gun laws, we'll never quite know. So yeah, people are like, he's standing up to Trump or something, but nah, he just wants Alex Shelley out of Impact. C-58, storyline loses heat, unfortunately. And we move into... This was where Zara Brookside is in the ring by herself. She says, for almost 4 months now, I've been undefeated. I'm 12-0. And being in scheduled matches has gotten a bit boring. So I'm starting my own segment every week, if I feel like it. I'm not gonna may not do this every week. I'm gonna have an open challenge. Step up, see if you can be the 1 in 12 and 1, or just another 1 in 13 and 0. So we move into her open challenge, and she defeats Mandy Leone in 6:01 by pinfall with an iconoclasm. Rating isn't great, but we need to build these guys up. D minus 38. Mandy with a 34, Zaya with a 30. Sorry. Mandy with a 32, Zaya with a 34. No worker improvements. Negatives for Mandy being inconsistent. That's about it. That's Mandy's first loss as well, I think. It's alright. Next segment is not as good as I thought it would be. The Miracle Workers make their way down to the ring, and Omega says, "We are the Miracle Workers." And last week on Explosion, my partner Mike Bennett got injured by Matt Sydal, which is legit. It was in a throwaway match. Just broke his hand. I considered just going back and running through it again, but I thought, you know what? No, that's cheating. I'll just go with it. That's the annoying thing about having Explosion, though. Like, you risk injuries to people like Mike Bennett, who you have plans for. Yeah. So, I'm just going to have to... He's only out for, 2.5 weeks, though. He's not out for ages. Anyway, so he broke his hand, and Mike Bennett says, "So tonight, Kenny here is going to teach Matt a lesson. When you injure a Miracle Worker, you get bad luck. So after Kenny's done with you, Matt, you're going to need more than a miracle to get your career back on track." And, nope, I'm going backwards. That's the wrong way. And that advances the storyline. So yeah, I thought I'll make a storyline out of it. C minus 55 isn't great, but we move into the match, which is fantastic, actually. These two have great chemistry. Awesome. That match was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought that would be like a C. But yeah, so these two have great chemistry. Kenny Omega defeats Matt Sydal in 10:29 by pinfall with a cross-legged Fisherman's Buster. I might need to change that to the One-Winged Angel. The match got the crowd buzzing, as it would. Kenny has a 58 and Sydal has a 64. Miracle Workers storyline advances and gains heat. I did not think that was going to get nearly as good as it got. I'm very happy with that. Moving on to not a bad segment. C62 still gains heat for the storyline. Brooke is tied up in a boiler room. Mankind is somewhere, I don't know. But she's with Rosemary. And Rosemary's just sitting in front of her, ignoring her and looking at her title. And she says she won't take you from me. She's not strong enough. No one can take you from me. They'll never take you from me. She starts to spit mist onto the title and starts laughing when the door bursts open and Gail Kim and Jade run in. I need a bit of water. My mouth's going all weird. Rosemary and Gail start brawling whilst Jade quickly unties Brooke, and when Brooke is eventually untied, the three of them run out of the room, leaving Rosemary just screaming. She's holding the title and screaming. Storyline advances. So yeah, what was Rosemary trying to do with Brooke? I don't know. I legitimately don't know. I've just written it like that. Next segment is what? Good rating. Yes. And we see a montage of Austin Aries training over the last week. He's sparring with Impact coaches, and we see little highlight segments of a practice match with EC3. And Aries wins and then just sits on the ring apron. He says, "Why am I going to Slammiversary? Because I'm Austin Aries, baby. I'm the greatest man that ever lived. I came back here to continue my Hall of Fame career, and step 1 of my plan is winning this tournament, and step 2 is walking into Slammiversary and winning the World Heavyweight Championship for the second time in my career." So Aries enjoyed the freedom to go off script. Obviously, he was rated. EC3 wasn't. That's why I was like, did I put the wrong person in this segment? Bullet Club storyline has advanced and gained heat, so we've got our main event next. And our main event is not next, actually. My bad. Whew. But that is a fucking solid match. Adam Cole has had 3 great weeks, I'm pretty sure. But Adam Cole, he does defeat James Storm in 12:35 by pinfall with a front flip a front flip pile driver. During the match, we had Bram run in and attack Storm. So these two have pretty good chemistry. I will remember that because If they're going to pull out matches like that, they're going to have a feud sometime. I don't know when, I don't know what about, but they will. Storm with a 68, Cole with a 74. The storyline advances and gains heat. Of course it would. You have that. Yep, B81. That's our third best match or something. That's in our top 5. Now our main event should be next, and nope. Okay. I'm going to stop guessing when everything is, but Galloway is in a dark alley by himself, and he says, "Some people ask me why I do what I do. Most people don't. It's not because they don't understand, or it's not that they, it's because they don't want to be the next person I target. I hurt people to get what I want, and right now I want respect. What exactly is respect to me? It's people looking me in the eye and telling me the truth. The truth that I'm the best damn wrestler on this roster, on this, in this country, on this planet. I am Drew Galloway, and I've been disrespected for far too long. And Magnus, at Slammiversary, I use you as the next example for why I must be respected." So yeah, I thought, that what Galloway kind of defines as respect probably wasn't defined before. So yeah, now it's kind of been defined, and the storyline advances and gains heat. I can just rely on gains heat, not gains heat. I can rely on Galloway to give me a B- in most promos by himself. He just rated on microphone, and his microphone rating's just going to go up the more that we practice it. So yeah, moving on to our main event, which was not great. But Austin Aries does defeat Chris Sabin in 16:27 by pinfall with a 450 splash. Sabin was off his game. He was visibly tiring towards the end, and he has a 52 to Aries 72. The storyline advances, and worker improvements. No worker improvements, unfortunately. A couple negatives for Sabin. I think he's ready to get to this kind of stage, but I don't think he's ready for the world title just yet. We need to build up his overness. We need to build up his skills a bit more. Whereas Aries, I think everyone, probably thought it was going to be Aries that walked out as the winner, because he was the biggest name in the tournament. Of course, he had Lashley, but Lashley was out first. First round and everything. Now I'm not sure who I want to win. I haven't decided between Aries and Cody, because Cody, I think there's still story to tell with him, but he's not connecting with our main eventers. He didn't connect with EC3, he didn't connect with Brother Nero, all that. Hopefully he connects with Aries, because if he doesn't, it's going to be really disappointing. Yeah, but anyway, we move into the last segment, which is a B-75, which is all good. Here is the winner of the tournament, Austin Aries. He celebrates to the jubilation of the crowd as Cody stands up at the announcer's desk before getting in the ring. And Aries jumps off the turnbuckle. The two stare each other down before Cody just raises his world title to end Impact. So B-75, the storyline advances. No worker improvements. Negative just for being short. We're going to end the show. And I swear I had storytelling. Oh, I've done that twice in a row now. That's really annoying. I've done that twice now. That show was far better than a C+69. It's because I didn't have storytelling. Oh, that's bloody annoying. And Cole versus Storm should have been the main event. But, there's obviously Aries and Sabin was the main event because it was like the match. But yeah, I'm going to leave it here. Tell me, what did you think of the show? What do you think of the storylines? What's your favorite storyline? What's your least favorite? Your favorite guys on the roster? Who do you want me to bring in? Predictions for Slammiversary. I think we know all the matches that are pretty much going to be taking place. What do you think of Zaya's open challenge or ban? What about ban the machine guns, all that? Do you think Aries should take the world title? Because as we can see, Aries has been having pretty good matches, whereas Cody hasn't cracked a 70 yet, and all that. So yeah, comment below, let me know. Subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video.